This is Mr. Riley, and I will be giving you a demonstration on the Cengage Machine Lab 3.1. So here we are at the very first page, talks about the lab duration and all that. So going on to the next page, this explains the topology. Next. And now we're into the managing user accounts. Now I'm not going to read all this to you, for brevity. But we're going to be using the PLab DC01 and the PLab Win10 machines. So I went ahead and started by default, the DC always starts, and the PLab Win10 I started, before I started recording. So connect to the PLab Win10 machine, PLab Win10, and the password is PASSO. RT. And if you don't know it, you can always log in automatically, but it's within the course somewhere and you'll see it. So, okay. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit here so I can see the start button. If you right mouse click this, you go to settings and then you find accounts. And then from the accounts here, it tells on step 4 to go to other users. Okay. On the other users, click add someone else to this PC. So right here, add someone else to this PC. It opens up. And how will this person sign in? And I don't have their email or phone, so you click on this hyperlink down here. I don't have the person's sign-in information. Click there. On create account, select add a user without a Microsoft account. So add a user without a Microsoft account. Click next, or click on that. And then we're going to give them a username, and it says user 100. And the password, PASSOD, like we use for everything else, PASSWORD. And security question, this is what I usually do for the labs. And I copied the word default. And I'll go down to the next two and just choose one. What's your pet's first name? What's your childhood nickname default? I just make them all the same. Okay. So now you see user 100 right here, don't you? Okay. Now appears in the other users. Similarly, you can create a local account using Windows 10 computer management or the .NET EXE tool and command prompt. Hint, remember the .NET EXE. Go ahead and keep the settings windows open. Use a Microsoft account and an external account. Microsoft account, also named Windows Live ID, is a free account that enables you and the owners to access Microsoft services. Outlook.com, OneDrive, Office Online are free to users on any device connected to the internet. Likewise, corporate emails classified as work accounts and other types of accounts useful in Windows 10. Work accounts are useful in accessing messages installed on the Windows 10. Installed apps also. Okay. So, what we're going to do in the settings window, select email and accounts right here. Under accounts used by email, calendar, and contacts, add an account. And it's going to come up. On the added account, a variety of applications you can enter account information for Exchange, Outlook, Google, Yahoo, iCloud. If you have a IMAP server, it's just showing you where to find it. So Go ahead and click close. Accounts used by other apps. Under accounts used by other apps, select Add Microsoft Account. On the Microsoft sign-in, you could type in your email address such as Hotmail, Live, or Outlook.com. Hint, hint, hint. So you would put that in there if you had a Microsoft account. So Hotmail and Outlook.com and Live.com are all Microsoft accounts. That was just to show you where to find it. On the settings window, access work or school. And right now you can see we're already connected to a domain, connected to Practice Labs, Active Directory domain, practicelabs.com. So if we click connect, you can set up a work or school address here. This is just showing you where to find it. And if the computer wasn't part of the domain, you could join it right there. Okay, so now we're going to close this. I have to scroll up a little bit. My screen was a little bigger. Okay, create a domain user account. A domain user account is a member of an Active Directory domain. An AD domain is associated with a company network whose employees access corporate-wide resources such as databases, messaging, email, authentication and management, and you can push out group policies. A domain user account corresponds to a company staff member and must authenticate with the domain controller, a DC server. DC stands for domain controller, to gain access to the network. This task will illustrate how to create a domain user account. So we're going to have to switch machines. So we click over on PLAB DC01, and you'll see it up there in the upper left-hand corner. And we're going to log in. Same password, capital PASSW0RD. Logging on as the administrator. Okay. And when you do this, Server Manager will open automatically. I'm going to go full screen with this. Go to Tools. It tells you that in step 1. Go to Active Directory Users and Computers. And it will pop open. Okay. You have to expand this. Expand Practice Labs. And you'll see APAC, Bulletin, Computers. And these ones with like the little special character on the folder are actually OUs, organizational units. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So go ahead and click on Users. And we're going to right mouse click. New User. And you can create new things in here. You can create groups, contacts, computers, printers, shared folders, but we're going to do a user slab. So this is how you would do it in a Microsoft environment. Jane West, and then the user logon name, and this is what they'll actually type into the machine when they log on. So it could be first name dot last name, first initial last name. Go next. And then we're going to type our typical password, PASSW0RD, PASSW0RD. And we're going to uncheck must change password on next logon. Now, in the real world, you would leave that checked, give them a default password. They'd log on the first time and make their own password for security reasons. Okay, next. And then it shows, summary of what we did, and click Finish. And now Jane West is right here. And that takes us through step 5. The domain user named Jane West is now available. The user will sign in to the domain on PLAB Win 10 using that account. So go ahead and close this. let's go over here to PLab Win. Well, let's do this real quick. Go over here to PLab Win 10 and how you would do this, because it basically it remembers the last person that signed on and it brings them up first. You can shut that off if you want, but that's the default setting. If you click other user, now we can do J West and sign in as her. And you see her name showed up there, Jane West. Now, the first time you sign in with a user on a computer, every user on a Windows 10 computer will have a profile under users. Since Jane has never logged on before, one will be created for her. And that's the first time you log on, it takes a little longer because it's creating your profile on that machine. I'll show you here. If you go to this PC, go to users. Oh, gotta agree to this. Go to users, you actually see Jay West here. A. Schofield, Newport, administrator. So, and these are for other labs too, so don't read too far into that. Okay, now we're going to go to task 4, create a managed service account. A managed service account enhances security and management of applications like IIS, which is a website, Internet Information Services. Managed service accounts managed in the domain level use automatic password management, SPN management, supports delegation of management to other administrators. Virtual accounts are managed local accounts. This type of account requires no password management and is capable of accessing the network with the computer identity in an Active Directory environment. This task will demonstrate how to configure it. So, we need to go back to PLab DC01. We're going to log on as the administrator. Okay. And we're going to go to Tools under Server Manager. And we're going to go to Internet Information Services. Okay, I'm going to go full screen, give us some room to work here. Expand that. Go to Sites, Default Website, right mouse click, Edit Bindings. On the site Bindings, select HTTP, click Edit, and then we're going to give it a host name. HTTP runs on port 80, and so the host name is basically the computer it's running on, the name of the computer. Actually, Practice Labs is the website name. Okay. Close the binding. And then we can close IIS. We just had to assign it a... Okay. In the next step, you will create a CNAME called www for the host PLab DC1. This name or alias DNS record will enable resolution of www. So when you have a server, you can have an alias. So basically it points to whatever server you tell it to at that time of it. It's easy to change it and it's transparent to the users. So we're going to go to Tools, DNS. Double click on that. We're going to go to the forward lookup zones, Practice Labs, and then right mouse click that. New CNAME or new alias. Okay, the alias is www, and the fully qualified domain name is plabdc01.com. practicelabs.com. Then we click OK. And there you go. We have a CNAME, www, the machine it's running on. So if we change machines, all we got to do is go into that record, change the machine. And then that way, people are still hitting the same, hitting the website. Allows you to change out machines. So we're going to go ahead and close DNS. Okay, now we're going to do some PowerShell commands. And what it is, you got to create a key for this. So PowerShell admin. Let me see if I can do this. Properties, font, 20. Make it a little bigger for easier to see in the. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and do KDS. If you hit the tab and if it has enough information, it will finish your command or give something very close. So effective time, two brackets, get date, close bracket, .add parse. Okay, what that basically says is that they're going to get a root key for this, and it's good for 10 hours. And there is the root key, global unit identifier right there. Okay, to create and enable a managed service account and register to a service principal name, we're going to run the following. So, new ADS service account dash name. Oh, okay. Here, if you hit the quotes and you get like the @ sign, use the @ sign instead. So use like Shift 2, and like expecting the @ sign, and you actually get the quotes. I think what it is they got to set with the Canadian or British keyboard. So W service 01 quote dash principal names space Okay. Hopefully I spelled everything right. Hit enter. No red there. If it comes back red error message, then you know you did bad. But there was no negative report on that. There's no confirmation after creating a managed service account and registered SPN. So now we're going to go ahead and close PowerShell, exit, and then right-click Start Computer. Right-click to start, go to Computer Management, In computer management window, expand sites and services. We're going to go to services and find worldwide publishing. It's probably all the way at the bottom since these are alphabetical. Yep. Go to properties. You will modify the logon settings for the www service. This means the managed service account will log in the background to start the mentioned service. So click the Logon tab, this account, and type in got to click in the box, WS, the same thing we typed in that PowerShell command. And then we put a password in here. Let's see what it says. And for the password, I just put PASSWORD, PA. And the service WC could not be configured to run under an account name. I spelled something wrong. WSERVICE01. Okay, I see what I was doing wrong. I'm sorry. So go to log on, this account, browse, and here we type in WSERVICE01 and check name. Click OK. There we go. And then we give it a password, capital PASSWORD. What I was doing, I was pulling it from the local machine. That's not allowed since it's a shared process. Click OK. And it says the account practice lab server has been granted the logon service right. And the new logon name will not take effect until you stop and restart the service. So click OK. If we highlight that, right mouse, restart, and I just restarted the service. Don't worry about it not starting. This is for the lab part. But from the worldwide publishing service, local computer, in the Windows command prompt, click password. Yeah, I did that. And then has been granted the logon service right. And then we do a screenshot of that. Take screenshot. Okay. Go ahead and click OK. Click OK on the world. And we're going to go ahead and click OK and close computer management. And we're going to move on to the next page. Next, managing Windows security groups. Security group is a collection of user accounts assigned with similar rights and permissions. System rights refer to the system-related tasks such as backup, restore of servers, change system time, and others, while permissions are actions a user or group can perform on accessing a file, folder, a document, a print queue, membership in a security group. Entities group entitles a user to certain system rights, and like if you could use a USB drive, if you can restart a server, if you can log on to a server. And go ahead and make sure you read that over. So we're going to use the DC01, PLAB DC01 and PLAB Win10. So this task will illustrate how to assign permissions to an Active Directory object called an organizational unit. Similar, you will learn how to delegate permission with the delegate control wizard. So we're on PLAB Win10 or PLAB DC01. We're on Server Manager. Click Tools, Active Directory Users and Computers. In the Active Directory User and Computers console, click View, Advanced Features. And you see a lot more stuff here. See like lost and found keys and stuff that wasn't visible before. And that is so novice Active Directory users don't destroy stuff. Okay, hidden container objects will become visible. Expand the EMEA, and click. Go to Properties. On the EMEA Properties, click Security. We're going to go ahead and click Add here. And in the Select a User, Computer, or Service Account groups dialog box provided, type in G_IT. Check name, and it underlines it. And if it underlines it, that means it's good, it's been found. Go ahead and click OK. Back in the EMEA Properties dialog box, highlight what we just added, the G_IT group. Under permissions, say full control. Full control under allow. And click OK. If you would have clicked deny, it would have made everything deny. Deny overrides any allows. Okay, back in Active Directory Users and Computers under EMEA, click and then right-click the Engineering OU underneath it. Since we gave permissions to the EMEA OU, anything underneath it, all the sub OUs or child OUs will inherit those permissions. Okay, right mouse click, delegate control. This is the delegate control wizard, and this is pretty much how you can take a group and delegate control. You can add users, you can change group policies, you can create objects. On the delegation control, welcome to, go ahead and click next. This is the welcome page. And then we're going to click add to add a group. And then we're going to type in G_help desk. And this would be your help desk people, people who reset passwords. So now we chose that group, and then we're going to set the permissions for that group. Back in the user group dialog box group, the G_help desk group appears. Go ahead and click next. On the task delegation page, select create a custom task to delegate option. And that's this radio button down here. Next. On the Active Directory object type, Select only the following objects in the folder: grouped objects and user objects. Group objects, it's alphabetical, so user objects will be down towards the bottom. Select create selected objects in this folder. Next. In the permissions, under permissions section, select full control. Next. And then on the completing delegation wizard, click finish. So we're going to minimize this for now. Okay, install RSAT. RSAT is Remote Server Admin Tools. So what this is used for is you can sit at a PC and basically do all the stuff instead of, going over to the domain controller and doing it. It allows you to act like you're sitting at the domain controller from your office, from a laptop, whatever. So we're going to switch over to PLab Win 10. And Remote Server Admin Tool has been around since like the XP days. I was using it 15 years ago. So we're going to log on. Scroll down a little bit and close this. And we're going to open up Edge. You can see tools and resources. Go to tools. Scroll down to Windows 10. Then find RSAT. Up a little bit. RSAT select Windows TH RSAT WS 1709. Click Open File link that appears on the, up here. Open File. On the Windows Update Standalone Installer, go ahead and click Yes. I accept. And updates are being installed. Please wait while the installation. This will take several minutes. I am going to go ahead and pause the video right now. And when it's done installing, I think it takes like 10 minutes. So I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay, it finished. So click close on the installation complete wizard. Actually, it says, and close Microsoft Edge. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I'm going to go ahead and click restart now. So that'll actually do step 10 for me. And you may have to hit this refresh button every so often as it reboots. So, and we're going to verify the permissions for the security group. Earlier, you changed security permissions for the GIT group and used delegation control wizard to grant the G help desk group the task to manage users and group objects. For this task, you will sign it as a user from the GIT and G help desk groups to verify the permissions work. So, okay, come on. Reboot for me. Okay, there we go. So we're going to log on as a different user here. We're going to log on as J Eastfield. And this alert here says when logging in as a new or different user, ensure to select install and accept the respectively the info license agreement and the application install security warnings. So that basically helps them track what you've done and give you credit for it inside your lab report. We're going to go ahead and slide down here. Click on Start and scroll down a bit and expand the Windows admin tools and Active Directory users and computers. So, oh, I'm going to wait to see if those the BG info license agreement shows up. Okay, so we're going to scroll down to Windows Administrative Tools, Active Directory users and computers. Click on that. Okay. The the GIT group has full control over the EMA group. So we expand this out. Console, Practice Labs, EMA. Right click EMA and select New Organizational Unit. So New Organizational Unit. And we'll call it Trainees. And click OK. Now we have a Trainees OU under there. User Justin Eastfield successfully created Trainees OU, and because they're part of the GIT group, who has full permissions over that OU, the EMEA. Right click APAC and notice there is no option to create a new object. You see the thing that says new? If I come down here to EMA, right mouse click, you see new. You don't see new there, do you? So we're gonna that proved that the permissions are working correctly. So we're gonna go ahead and close this. Right click the start menu, shut down or sign out, and we're gonna go ahead and sign out. And scroll back up here and do a little refresh. And we're going to log on as A Schofield. So other user. I spelled Schofield wrong, not Schofield. Okay, Password. And we're logging on as Abby Schofield. Okay, and it has the same alert, if that stuff pops up, go ahead and agree to it. Okay. So with Windows 10 and Windows 8 both, down here at the bottom, you can type in the search. You may see it on right here. Type here to search. And basically you can type in lots of stuff to find it. So we typed in active and we found the best match pop-up, Active Directory users and computers. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And it comes up. In Active Directory users computers console, Windows expand the practice labs. EMAOU. Right-click expand this. Right-click the engineering and new user. You'll notice a whole bunch of other stuff isn't there because they have limited access. When I log on as someone else, there's a much longer list. I could create another OU underneath there. But since she is part of the help desk OU, so notice because the delegated control assigned the GP help desk security group, the user can only create user and group objects in the engineering OU. In the new object, go ahead and click, okay, so we're going to do a new user. And it's going to be Jamie, or Janie. Last name is Guthrie, Guthrie. And Jgurth. Okay, next. Password. Finish. So we just made Janine Guthrie. Okay. Did that. Step 14, right. Click finish, step 15. Okay. So we proved that she could create a user, not a group, but you get the idea. So now we're going to create a local group. A local group is a group of useful for organizing users on a Windows 10 device. That singular device, like that PC only. This group gets permissions to resources from the local computer. However, Windows 10 computer is a member of a workstation of an AD domain. It automatically adds security group domain users to the local group. So we're on Win 10, the PLab Win 10. So we're going to sign out real quick. Shut down or sign out. We're going to sign out and sign back in as the administrator, okay? And refresh. Sign in as the administrator here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and right click the start button. Computer management. Local users and groups. Right click groups. New group. Okay. And we're going to call it the local help desk. And click Add. Okay, notice that the practicelabs.com domain appears in the locations field right here. As the PLab is in that domain. In the provided text box, go ahead and type in A. Schofield. And you can type just the beginning of it. And it found it for me, Click OK. Under user account practice lab appears in the members list. Note the user A. Schofield is now a member of the PLab. Is a member because PLab Win 10 is a member of the workstation. So the domain. Go ahead and click that and create, close. So now, if we go to local help desk, we see the members, Abby Schofield. Okay, now we're going to go to users. And take note, you'll see a user 7, 8, and 9 there. These users are local to the computer on PLab Win 10 and therefore are not valid or visible in the domain practicelabs.com because they are local users. So they couldn't log onto a different machine in the domain unless you added them individually. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and close computer management. Okay. We're going to go ahead and connect to the DC here, PLab DC01. Okay. Let me go ahead and log on. Restore Active Directory users and computers, it says. If necessary, expand the practice labs. Already got that. Expand EMA. Did that. Click Help Desk. Expand help. Right-click the DL Help Desk group. Right there. Go to Properties. On the DL Help Desk Properties dialog box, click the Members tab. And the DL standing for domain local. So there is actually a group nested in this group here. On the select user, okay. We're going to go ahead and click Add. On the select user, containers, computer services accounts, click Locations. On the locations, expand the practice. Notice that there is no options to select PLab Win 10. Therefore, it's not possible to add the local group, local help desk created earlier on the PLab Win 10 to the DH help group domain. Okay. Take a screenshot of that. Okay. Similarly, click Cancel in the Select Users. Click OK on that. Close it. Close everything out pretty much. Now leave everything else running for the next activity. So, did you complete all the lab steps? Don't forget to complete the review questions on the next page. So, next. Do you want to automate the creation of local users on a Windows 10 workstation? Which the tools would apply. Remember, I kind of gave you a hint of something with a net in there. And a domain user signs in for domain joined Windows 10 device. The user would like to download free apps from the store. This is a Microsoft class. You wouldn't use Yahoo or Google, I'll tell you that, okay? Okay, a Windows 10 local administrator would like to send corporate messages applications, send messages to users in Active Directory domain. He tries to access the application, received an error message, and does not have required permissions. How can this be resolved? Well, a local administrator create a domain account for the Windows 10 local administrator. That's what I would recommend, but and you guys can kind of figure out the last of them, okay? But don't forget to answer your questions and then submit the report, okay? Hopefully this is a lot of help, or some help. Have a good day.